Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Beautiful, beautiful morning, fall, crisp, colorful in Bentry. Thanks for coming. Bill's Lake and Wildlife meeting this morning. I want to welcome you, and first of all, what I want to do is I have an announcement that Phil Bracken gave me that they're having a candlelight musical service, and it's Monday the 3rd at 6 p.m. As a commemoration to all the faithful that have departed in the last year, and he asked me to read this, so I told him I certainly would. It's at the Episcopal Church of the Holy Family in Jasper, Griffith Road, and they'll have a requiem of the French Baroque composer André Campra. The choir will be joined by soloists from around the area in Atlanta, and the Atlanta Baroque Orchestra will be there also, which is pretty interesting. That's a very, very great orchestra. So I told him I'd read that for him. So I hope you might want to attend. There's a flyer on it. It's over on the table also if you need another copy. With that, we will continue on. Lots to talk about today. This is something I put up, which is kind of interesting. There's been a lot of discussion of dredging and a lot of discussion about silt and where it's coming from and all that good stuff. So what I wanted to point out is this is the watershed for Lake Tamarack. And it starts up here at Eagles Rest. And it runs all the way down over to Monument all the way around, up and over, and up into where Burnt Mountain is. And you'll see in another slide, it goes all the way over to where that lookout is. Continues on. And there's the other one here. There's the life group over here. And then here's Lake Tamarack. But anyway, this continues around. This is the mountain, this is the Alpine. Around here. This is going up around the other mountain, you know. And this is also part of Bentry in here. This is the golf course. This is the front 9, this is the back 9. So I just wanted to mention that our watershed is huge. It's not just the 3,500 acres of Bentry that run into it. It's all the way up here and comes down 1,500 feet to our elevation here, from 3,200 down to about 1,520, which is where the lake is. And so you've got a watershed that comes from here, from all the way up here, and here, comes down from here. I'll show you more later, but here's Eagles Rest, that whole valley, down here. Total area of the watershed is 8 miles in circumference and encompasses over 8,200 acres. So that's your watershed. And I put that up there only because we're talking about habitat today, and the habitat is so important to keep a habitat, to be careful of erosion, to be careful of what could happen. We already have enough erosion. I can speak on that forever, but I'm only going to talk that you get a broad view. And this is from a satellite view. You'll see a couple other ones later on, but just gives you the whole picture. Very interesting. Our mission, we always state to begin, living in Bentry is a privilege, which includes responsibility to take care for the natural world around us. Therefore, Lake and Wildlife works to preserve the natural beauty and wildlife of Bentry and encourages Bentry corporate and all residents to be good stewards of our natural resources. What we do, we monitor, as you just saw, educate, which is very important, and of course volunteer to get those things done. Today, we'll welcome our new partners that might be here today. I have a board report from Artie, our committee reports, treasurer's reports, and then we'll talk, and Dara will have a nice presentation on forestry habitat and all the conundrums and difficulties one might experience in the habitat around your home. New arrivals, new people, first timers today. Anybody here for the first time? Wow, all veterans. Oh boy, Dara, we're in trouble. Okay. Board report. Artie, if you would come up.
Yes, sir. October is behind us.
And it's not just about Halloween. Your board and staff has spent many, many hours preparing and working on a budget for 2026. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some items from the capital budget, but understand, until we vote the end of November, these numbers aren't final, and they most likely will change. So we're proposing $700,000 to widen, mill, patch, pave, strip Little Pine Mountain from the front gate to the 19th hole. As part of an ongoing work, we're going to replace 5,000 linear feet of 6-inch line, water line. We're going to spend $55,000 on a utility panel work truck to replace one that's been in service since 1998. And we're going to replace or fix a metal facility at the golf course that's 26 years old, and that's a $60,000 investment. We're old people. We've got a lot of stuff that needs to be repaired. The biggest line item is $1.2 million, and that's for dredging. That's a big project, and one that we're all very interested in. It has to happen. It may not have to happen completely next year, so we still have a lot more discussion to decide how we're going to spend that money. But that money is set aside for that. All of this won't be final until we vote at the November 18th board meeting. So we'll have a work session the week before that. You're all welcome to attend, comment, and then November 18th we'll vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Artie. Appreciate it. Buddy, thank you too for coming today. Thanks for your support. We appreciate it. We know this dredging subject, along with silt, is very important to be taken care of. As we know, there's only so many years left before it starts to fill up and we lose the beach. So appreciate your support and working on that. And we'll continue to work with you as we have.
Hey, Ryan?
Yeah.
One thing, when you were showing your watershed map, I think it's important to point out that there's at least 5,000 extra acres there that we're not going to be able to control silt from. And silt is inevitable with any lake anywhere. So it's something that we just have to keep up with on the dredging.
Thank you.
And we can do what we can do to minimize it on our own property, but we can't control
Young life.
the other 5,000 acres.
Yeah, plus, yeah. It's a very difficult thing. And we only have so much money, so we can only do so much, and so many volunteer hours. Thank you. Committee reports. Fundraising, Tamarack Treasures, very important coming up. Deb, would you like to say a couple words? Maybe 3 or 4? I mean, Deb used to be, Deb's a lawyer, so, okay.
We get paid by the word, so. So I've got my partner in crime here, Teresa Hoppy. You guys all know her. So we're a week from today. We will be in Tamarack Treasures. We'll be rocking and rolling. So for those of you that have already reached out to one of us and signed up or volunteered in some way, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We have about 56 people as of yesterday that are signed up to help, which is incredible. If you still have time next Saturday or Sunday, I still have spots available. So love to talk to you about one of those opportunities. We also need your beautiful flyer that Teresa did for us on a bunch of the chairs out here. We still need folks that are going to bake for the bakery. Luann is here today. If you've got any questions at all about this is one of our really, really big profit centers at Tamarack Treasures. We consistently make $400 or $500 on just the bakery alone. So, but a lot of that depends on your generosity and baking and bringing to us. So anyhow, the details about that are here, but questions would go to Luann. All about the sale is down here. you can find, we start donations on Monday from 10 to 12, and that same day, same hours, Tuesday and Wednesday. If you have donations that for whatever reason you cannot get to us, they're too large, you lack the right kind of vehicle, you work during the day, if you will reach out to me, and I think my phone number is posted on almost everything in the neighborhood right now, we will, yeah.
Again, just
She will. We will find someone to help you get those here. The success of this sale depends on, I always said three things: the generosity of our donors, and folks in this neighborhood have been overwhelmingly generous for the past 5 years. This is the 10th Tamarack Treasures that we're about to start next week. The volunteers that come and support this, and those of you that come and shop. So thank you to all of you. But we do have one other big item that's still outstanding, and I'm going to turn that over to Teresa to talk to you about.
and it's very important, very important. These are the
Come here, baby.
gnomes. They all look like this year. It's a girl, because if you remember last year we had a boy. He was looking for, a significant other, and so he had a. So here she is.
Found her.
Here she is. She doesn't have a name, so think of a name and hit me with it before we leave here today. They'll be on sale for $25, and we will net $800 profit by selling these 40 gnomes. So anyway, that's pretty cool. That's not nothing. So anyway, that's. And my husband's going to say, I couldn't hear what you were saying the whole time because you weren't staying. I'll hear about that all week long.
I tried to push it over to her, John.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, $25 and a great cause. So y'all come buy gnomes.
Thanks, everybody. We hope to see you next weekend at Tamarack Treasures.
Thank you, Deb, and thanks, Teresa. Appreciate it. Miguel, appreciate all your publicity you put in there for us, too. Takes a team to get this one done, but it's huge. It's beautiful. This is great. All right. Also, don't miss the Batik, of course, which is a list that'll follow. Oop, there he goes. Okay. He's looking for Tamarack Treasures. Anyway, yeah, it's a lot of decor, home decor, tableware, and holiday stuff, so you can bring that down. I just wanted to let you know about that, and I'll go back. Landscaping, KBTV, the cabin, the front entrance being worked. Andy can't make it today, but just want to let you know he is working on the cabin and landscaping around that, and we'll have a work bee and a work day coming up that you'll see in our flyers. Wildlife. There's been some interesting things happening with wildlife. Miguel, would you like to just say a couple of words about wildlife?
A couple of things, interesting things. Let me get to the mic, so it's above it. Well, at any rate, John is happy. First, this past week, in the last 10 days, we did the annual deer count in Bentry. The purpose of that deer count is, of course, assess the density of the population, and then we pass that information on to public safety. And they do with it whatever is required of them legally to do. So our population of deer is very healthy and very prolific. Our density of deer went up by roughly almost 25%. I'll give you the numbers, from 39 deer per square mile last year to 54 this year. So we are growing very healthy, we're growing a lot. We're having a lot of activities, bucks are busy. And talking about that, on our way here from, the Sanchez folks were right in front of me, admiring as well. There was a buck, magnificent animal. Probably, I'd say at least 8 pointers. I would not doubt that it would be even more. But he was regal. It was so beautiful to see. I wanted to share that. Bears. It has been kind of common knowledge that bears are most active at dusk and dawn, and sometimes during the day. Well, they are active at night. This past week, during the deer count, Eldon and Linda spotted 6 bears between 7:30 at night and 9:30 at night. And it was dark already. So the point is, forget about it. It's 24/7. Okay? So let's see, geese. Last night I was at the Lake Tamarack during the Untold Legends of Bentry. I don't know if you guys went. Anyway, there was a flock of geese, like around 20, 25 of them, flying around probably 10, 15 feet above the water. And it was dusk, and it was the most beautiful thing that you could ever see. They were honking, and they were flying in their V formation. What else? What else? Did I miss anything?
Turkeys.
Questions?
Turkeys.
The turkeys are dwindling down. They do not hibernate, nor do they migrate, nor do they go in torpor. They stay around and stick it out. They tough it through. Right now, you're going to see a lot less of them. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Turkeys. Should I rewind or yeah? Take two. Take two. They do not migrate. They do not hibernate. They do not go in torpor. They just stick it out. You're going to see a lot less of them, but they're still here. Now, in general, in the North Georgia area, DNR has reported problems with a dwindling down population of turkeys. Hens are having less and less poults, as they call it. They don't know why yet. Studies are on their way, but the population is not as thick and as plenty as it was 10, 15 years ago. With that, I think I'm done. Thank you so much.
Miguel, thank you. Thank you. Eldon and Linda, thank you too for helping and mentoring this poor young man. I know he has a lot to learn, although it'll probably take a long time, but thank you. Appreciate it, Eldon. Okay, lakes and streams. Very interesting report this week at the lakes and the streams. We did both the chemical monitoring and we did the macro invertebrates, the little bugs that live in those streams. And chemical monitoring, Mason and I did it, and the dissolved oxygen was steady and up at 8, 9, even up to 10. And our pH levels were right at 8 and 7, which are very strong, very good. Alkalinity, or toughness as I call it, was strong at 38 to 40, 45, which means it'll recuperate after the hot and the cold. And so the stream levels are back up almost 6 inches, which is good. And the water flow is good coming down through. And so it's good in that manner. It's not washing at this point because there's a lot of rock and bedrock on the streams. So our macro count was low, which is normal. It's fair, maybe good. But at this time of year, the macros, the little bugs, it's too cold. They're all hiding or they're gone or they're already died and passed on down the stream. So it's always low at this time. So we continue to check that and work that. Dara, Virginia, and our other group of good macro people, and Kim came to work hard in this cold weather this week to get it done. So we appreciate that. Huff is obviously hunting for Clemson to win, and so he couldn't be here today. But he said that fishing is good, it's fair, but at this time of year, the lake's starting its turnover, where the warm weather is flipping back over and the cold is coming up. So the fish are a little harder to find, but he said it's doing its thing, which it does, and so that's working out very well. And regarding silt, I'll just flash a couple up here real quick. I know I started looking at this, and that's another view, and I just wanted to show this because here's Eagle Ridge here. Big Stump's here. Heather's here from Big Stump. Yes, right? Well, Sue's glad you're here. She couldn't make it to you. Yeah, so she's up there, Eagles Ridge. There's that monument ridge all the way coming around. There's Bird Mountain. Come around. There's that lake at the top, up Bird Mountain. There's the lookout when you're driving. That lookout when you're over there on 360. Yeah, 136. And then there's the ridge that comes around. This is all the ridge that's What's our famous? Thank you. I don't know why I have trouble with Sharp Top. Anyway, that's Sharp Top, and then it comes around. Here's all the homes of Bentry coming down, coming around. There's the dam. There's Lake Tamarack. You can come around some more, as I say, and you go around here all the way up to Oglethorpe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the dam. And then your golf course here and here. As I say, this is quite a ridge. You just have to see this. When I first saw it, I went, oh my God. Whoa. Yeah, 1,500 feet drop, 8 miles around. And here's Young Life, right in this valley. See, here's Long Swamp coming in. There's the boat ramp. There's the beach. So your water's coming up here, all the way back up into here, 1,500 foot drop. Here, almost 1,500 feet up, Eagles. And then you've got in between, all along Monument. And you see these homes where they're building. All along here. And then you're over to here. And that's where Long Swamp begins. And it comes down here, but it also splits. And then it reaches the bottom, meeting the creek here, comes along. Everything from the lookout along the ridge flows this way, and that's the other lake, the lake that's up the road. I don't know what. Thank you. That's Grandview Lake. And that takes it from this side. So we have, as I say, 8,100 acres in this watershed. And we're going to get silt. Silt's going to come in. We've got to do something with it. We can't ignore it. The dredging is one thing. The streams is another. And we need to take care of the stream inlets. Here's Mulligan, taking it from here. The other side goes down Oglethorpe. Here's the other, of course, all the way down in here, comes in up by Sally Dawson, Coffee Cove. And then there's the inlet, the Long Swamp coming in. And then the outlet stuff. Just a quick look. Again, that was the first picture I put up there just so you could see the elevation and the different ways that the water and everything flows into here. You can be very careful. More on that at another time. Lots of figures, lots of numbers, but I think the important thing is that with the flow of the water anywhere from 2 to 3 miles an hour as it's slow and works its way up to when you get a rain, it can run up to 30 to 32 miles an hour coming straight down through, 4.1 million gallons. We accumulate 2.75 inches of silt a year around the beach areas and the inputs. Another 30 inches of silt, if you were to measure it by volume, as an engineer has formulas for it, showed me, 30 inches of silt go through and flush out. So the speed is good in one respect, it's bad in another respect. But at least we're getting flushing through, and a lot of silt is going downstream and out of here. Okay. Communications. We have our Friday news, our Wednesday wildlife news. We have the issues on the bear and living with wildlife and the echo, which Miguel does a great job of putting out. And I think, we're going to continue to do that. The other reason I talked about silt just a little bit here today, not only to be able to have it on YouTube to talk to silt a little, but during this, we've received anywhere from 6 to 8 different emails or texts to me at BentryLW@gmail. Most of them are talking and asking, what about the silt? We hear that it's going to be dredged, and we understand that, but are we doing anything about the silt coming in? How are we doing that? What's the plan? There's been a lot of interest from people. Some are part-time people. I know a lot of them are not here today. Some are, but they see this. So I wanted to get that information out because we're getting inquiries, and so that's good, right? Yeah. People are interested and they're asking questions. Project maintenance, trail work. I want to let Mason talk for just a second about the trail. I know you got to come up here and talk because the microphone's over here.
Well, first thing, we had 22 volunteers last Saturday to help spruce up Sally Dawson. I think we got a lot done. I kind of wish I would have ordered 3 loads of mulch instead of 2 or maybe even 4 because we had such a great turnout and the mulch got spread very quickly and the group was able to move over to some of the other activities that we had, building habitats for foxes and rabbits and possum and all that kind of thing, and songbirds. I think it was a very successful day, except for that thing on the left there. I had originally planned on only putting anti-skid treads on top of the bridge there to help eliminate some of the slipperiness. And when I started getting into that, it would not accept them. There was too much rot and decay in the wood, and I ended up with what you see right there. So that's in progress. We made a lot of progress this week. James and Brian helping me, and I think that's on the road to recovery. It probably won't be done until sometime next week, just because of other commitments that I have. Anyway, as far as the other trails go, right now I know Beaver Run is clear and Sally Doss is clear. I haven't been out on any of the other trails since the big wind and rain that we had this week. So I would like anybody that goes out on a trail, if they see blowdowns, to send me an email and let me know, and I'll get them cleared. I'll put something in the Wildlife Wednesdays and something in the Friday News just to publish my email for that purpose. So I'm enlisting anybody's help that is walking a trail and finds a tree down blocking it, let me know and I'll get it cleared. Our hiking club, our next hike is up here on just beyond that lookout that Brian was showing you on the watershed over satellite view. And it's going to be going to the Conahany Lodge ruins. That was part of the Tate Mountain Estates resort that burned down in the late 40s. And so we'll be hiking to those ruins, and I think there might be a surprise at the end of the hike. Something we don't normally do, but it'll be a first. All right. So that's what I have. Any questions, anybody?
Thank you, Major.
I didn't mention Forever Memorial. If you want to mention that quickly. Oh, November 12th. Excuse me. Yeah. November 12th. And that will be published this week as well.
Okay, great. No, thanks for everything. That's a lot of hard work on that bridge. As you can see, it's in rough shape. The supports were really bad, and a lot of these had to be replaced. There's a rot here. It just wasn't safe, and Mason did the right thing. Let's just fix it right, take whatever time it needs, and get the right kind of stuff in there, boards, struts, and cross beams. So that's going to be much better.
We are going to be covering it. We had some leftover Trex from the all-access walkway, so we're going to be putting Trex on top of that. What you see there with the 3 stringers, we had to add 2 more to support the Trex because it can't span that distance. So there's quite a bit involved with it.
Yes, and there seems to be a little progress on Forever Memorial Trail. We have the controversy with the resident there that did not want people crossing the property anymore and said, no people, no horses, sorry, you're out. So there was a move to have a land swap possibly with them to allow us to have that area back. That is in the works, but it's going very slow, and I don't know how that'll go. But on the other side, staff at BTCI seems to feel that there just may be enough area towards the bottom near the stream where we could get a bridge across, where we could have the trail continue up and not on that person's property. So we're exploring that. Just want to mention that. We're good there. All right. Volunteer special events. You all know that we're working towards a replacement for Luann, which of course will be impossible. But, we're trying, and she's been involved and done a great job. Do you want to speak on the employee luncheon at all, Luann? I know you
Just
got this.
really to thank everybody. We had great employee lunch. Really, we didn't have we had just like the right amount of food this year to take all the stuff that we didn't serve to the tavern for them to have the next day for their lunch. But we had great food and we had an amazing amount of people helping. So I just wanted to thank everybody for that. And then, and the employees are always so grateful. I mean, they really are grateful because we do it all homemade. It's not like we're going to the store and buying barbecue, you know, like you made a pork butt. I mean, different people are making things. So it's like, they really feel welcome for that. So, and then I wanted to remind everybody, don't forget for Tamarack Treasures, we really need baked goods. I know Deb mentioned it, but we really need baked goods. I don't have a clue what's coming in, but we usually never have a clue, and we always have a great amount of stuff come in. So just bring it on in Friday. I'll be there Friday. If you can't do it Friday, bring it early Saturday, and we'll get it set up.
Okay, great. Thanks, Luann. Thanks to you and Robert for doing that employee lunch. I know Jen has got the Christmas party going and picked up the ball with Beth, and I think it's great. There's flyers over there for the Christmas party. You can sign up, and please do so. Anything else you want to add, Jen?
That is it.
All right, we're cooking. All right, let's go to the treasurer's report. Treasurer's report is very good. Denise couldn't be here today. First of the year balance 18.7, revenues 21, expenses 22, balance of 17.2. Revenues primarily this year because it's already October, 1,600 from the sign renewal program, which Jim White handled, 4,200 from hanging basket sales, 11,200 from Tamarack Treasures.
Nice.
Deb, thanks again. 550 from Whispering Springs, even though it was a ring out. Everybody bought good stuff. Major expenses this year, 1,450 KBTB, which is, for all the flowers and plants. 4,700 was budgeted for the trail benches that rolled over from last year that were put out there. 920 stream monitoring expenses, that's for chemicals and reagents and renewals, and $2,000 habitat planting education, a lot of planting that Darren's put on education. 3,400 admin, which is a lot of flyers, banners, newcomers cups, we've got printing, and then of course the meetings and the Saturday meetings with the donuts and coffee and so on. 1950 Tamarack Treasures, that's like a 5 times return, right? 1950 gets us 11,000. Yeah, very good work, very good. And your whole team. 2,500 for the hanging baskets. So those were the major expenses this year. We go along, healthy, watching our pennies and dollars. Upcoming education, December, Jim Pryor will give his state of the state, so to speak, this year, Bentry, and what's happening. In January, there is no meeting, just so you all know that, and then February, we'll resume. Comments, help, volunteers, very welcome. Call us or email bentrey.lw@gmail.com. And people are starting to do that a little more, which is good. Now, I'm going to move on and let Dara take over in forestry, habitat, the dilemmas and conundrums in habitat conservation. Dara? Good morning, Dara.